Packard, wake up. Morning, sunshine. Sleep well? Main assault's underway, but the Black Order's dug in all over town. It's gonna be a long walk to the cathedral. Come on, let's get it done.
So one of the first things you're going to realize about Legendary is that the action comes from all sides. It's not your standard first-person shooter. You're not just looking forward, you're looking up, you're looking to the side. The player really needs to know the world and the space of the world because they're going to need to use it. Right here, you have a standard encounter where you have those Black Order guys in combat, but the creatures add a new mix. They come from all sides. Right now, they're pathing on the walls, and they're going to be looking for both ways to get around the player and create different challenges. In this case, he's probably going to throw something. It was very important for our creatures to have a lot of ability to move. This is a melee creature. It needs to reach the player to attack. And in first-person shooters, that advantage usually goes to the player. They can shoot from afar. But with our creatures, they're going to avoid your line of fires. They're going to be finding ways around the player so that they can come at you from angles you're not used to it happening. Right here, you're getting a little bit more of the combat experience in that there are Black Order soldiers down there that are shooting at Tim. He can choose to fight them head on, or he can decide that he wants to release a caged alpha. By releasing this creature, he's going to create a distraction that's going to hold those Black Order troops for a while. The catch is that eventually that alpha is going to be coming for him. You have to pick and choose because it doesn't, the focus change. The creature's focus changes quickly, and who they're attacking at one moment isn't going to be who they're sticking with the next. One thing that's important is in Legendary is health. You get health from creatures. You saw we're absorbing Animus, and we're also using Animus to. We have an ability to throw out an Animus pulse. You double tap the button, and you're going to get a nice effect to knock back the creatures. This is great. This is good because it's a good way to knock back these creatures and get yourself some space, like the shotgun does. All of our weapons have the ability to. They all have different abilities, and they're going to be useful against different things. Against the Black Order troops, that assault rifle is great, but that's not going to keep those creatures off of you for too long, and then you need to switch to something with a little more knockback power. In this case, an alpha is blocking our path. What I like to do when I open the gate is I like to watch a little bit of the chaos that ensues against my buddies. You notice we're making sure to reload. It's very important that you keep track of your ammo at all times. Shotgun gives you the ability to knock these creatures back. When you're out of rounds, it really kind of pays. It really kind of hurts. So right here, you're going to see an example of what happens when an alpha gets on a character and really hauls off on it. It's very important that werewolves are resurrecting creatures. They heal. In this case, Tim has to make sure that he blows off the creature's head so that it doesn't come back to life, because then the fight's on all over again. Once you have once your health is full and your Animus, the Signet is full, that Animus is going to stay around for the player to use. It's very important for players to conserve to really know where their health is coming from. You get health from creatures, but you get ammo from other enemy soldiers. So that dynamic of knowing what you need at the time really drives what you're caring about. A creature can turn from an obstacle into an opportunity in a second. You need that health. All of a sudden, you're very happy to see a creature around, even though that creature may be trying to take your head off. One nice dynamic we like is the difference between an arena fight and what you saw before, which was a three-way combat triangle fight. In a previous case, guys using hard points and the player having to take on the challenge of both creature versus and soldier at the same time. Here, after the Minotaur makes pretty short work of the Black Order soldiers, you're going to experience an arena fight, a fight that's set up for a creature to display all their behaviors and really, oh, that's just wrong. A little bit of, I feel for that guy. That's not going to be good. Oh, now Tim's up. All right. Really taking the dynamic of making an environment that's completely destructible for the creature. You take this place and you really can showcase off its ability to know the objects as well as change the world. In this case, that Minotaur is going to break through everything to get to the player. What I like about it is that it trains other skills for a first-person game. It's not just about looking forward and sort of playing in a game of margins of shooting a couple pixels to track that guy who's popping out of the cover point. It's about using the space and the environment and being aware of where you are in your movement. That kind of really training players and exploring movement in a first-person shooter, we feel is a fun place to take it. And we don't think there's many games that do that. We really wanted our creatures to be a challenge in that regard. Also, what you're seeing is a change in behavior of the creature. The way Tim was fighting it before is not the way he was fighting it then. Getting those cycles through of behavior allows the creature to have a richer experience for the player in a fight that can last minutes.
Keep moving to your objective.
We spent a lot of time on our wall pathing. We really wanted our creatures to feel natural and believable. They need to feel like creatures we know in our world feel. They're not aliens. They're not robots. We don't have the ability to make. They really need to feel like, in the case of a griffin, when he's moving on the ground, he needs to move like a lion moves. He needs to feel like he has the weight that a lion has. That kind of mechanical motion, the believability of it is important to sell these creatures as creatures of our world. Because in the end, in Legendary, these creatures were here. We just locked them in the box thousands of years ago. And making sure that they feel like creatures that could really be in our world is important to really selling the believability. Right here, we're going to get probably, an Animus Pulse can help knock off these creatures and get some distance. It's great when you have a challenge of multiple creatures. You use these abilities to really kind of free yourself up some space. It's one of the abilities of the Signet and the connection Deckard has to Animus and to Pandora's Box. As you can see, the creatures know the environment very well, and they're using the whole thing to take out the player. If that was a griffin in this area, he wouldn't have even cared about those benches. He just would have ran right through them and like they were nothing. Each creature behaves differently to the items depending on what's believable. In the case of the werewolf, those are throwable. In the case of the griffin, those things are just smashable and run-throughable. And different creatures are going to behave differently to the objects, but they all know them because it's their world as much as it's the player's world. The Black Order's been hunting Deckard since he opened the box. Paired up with the Council, he definitely has some help, but the Black Order still is trying to kill Deckard. They want the Signet. And I'm not going to tell you what that creature is yet. You'll just have to wait. Oh, and Deckard dies.